Hey, what's up, Street Talks? Eric from the Eric from Street Photography blog. So, just a random thought that I had. I've been bubbling on this idea for a while. The notion is classifying things as toys or tools. So, I don't know if toys are necessarily a good thing. Certainly, toys in the mass market produced way, I don't think they're actually a good thing. So, for example, I'm all for when kids make their own toys when they're out playing in the wilderness and they have sticks and rocks and stuff like that. And certainly, more important than toys, the spirit of play, I think, is actually essential to being a human or being a child, whatever. But I haven't thought too much about toys yet, but let me just move on to tools. So there are certain tools that we have in life which actually help us, that actually empower us, things that we could actually use in order to create. So for example, this is one tool that I've been using to create a lot of the videos, Lumix G9 with the Rode video mic, which is actually a pretty good setup. And actually probably the most useful thing that exists is probably just having a good laptop. So I'm all about the MacBook laptops. And honestly, you don't really need a Pro. If I could do it all over again right now, I'd probably just get a MacBook Air because optimizing for laptops which are lighter tend to be a better option. But anyways, so there's so many things in our consumerist society that suckers us into thinking that, oh, if you only bought X, Y, or Z, you'd be happy. So for example, a sports car or, a watch or phones, blah, blah. And I would have to say, so one thing that's been kind of fun is Cindy and I have been commuting to LA 5 times a week. And man, at this point, if you want to buy a new car, A, in my mind, it should be electric, and B, if it has the ability to be self-driving, that seems to be the best option. And so I think everything else just kind of seems like a toy. Like, I like sports cars and I think the designs are great and stuff, but ultimately to me it seems more like this toy that just happens to be really, really expensive than to actually be a useful tool, aka a commuter vehicle. Or even phones. I mean, I think that phones could be one of the most ultimate creative productivity tools, but I think this desire to constantly upgrade our phones for the sake of it, then it just kind of becomes a toy. And the great thing also about iPad is, iPad is a great tool, but also could be used as a toy. So I think it's tricky because a lot of our devices could be both toy or tool. But I think the ultimately creative tools which actually empower us to create tend to be a lot more useful. Or like even when I'm recording this video on a Ricoh GR3, one of the best creative tools I think for photographers that exists. And I'm also using a 21mm adapter. It's helped widen my vision. So photography is a tool to augment my reality, to encourage me to be more artistic and to create more things. And ultimately, I don't want to take too much of this utilitarian perspective that everything needs to have a utilitarian purpose and create stuff that has use and practicality. Too much of that thinking I think is bad, but still I think it's important for us to distill our own artistic vision to realize that there are certainly some things in life which are useful to have, like once again a laptop or a camera and so forth, but to just acquire objects for the sake of it just seems like a waste of money and time. And not to say that they're evil or bad or sinful, it just, to me, what's more important than that is for us to use our money in order to free our minds, for us to have a feeling of superabundance in order for us to create art. Because I think the ultimate end game is for us to just create art, and art could be very broad. It could be us making videos, it could be us making blog posts, it could be us dancing. And to me, anything that you create that has your own soul or your intentionality behind it, to me is art. And it's not even about whether the art's good or bad. It's more of whether it's authentic or inauthentic, which means, are you making it because you want to impress other people, which I consider inauthentic, whereas authentic is, it's a part of your soul and you just want to share with other people because it brings you so much joy and happiness in life. And this kind of brings me back to the other video I did is, as an entrepreneur, are you creating things out of a sense of hyperabundance or out of need and necessity? Because I think that the things that we create and we share should be a reflection that, oh, we're so happy in life, we're so grateful, we're so super abundant, rather than creating art that's just kind of needy and like kind of sad and depressing. So I'm all about the optimistic, positive art that's born out of your own personal spirit to empower other people and also to empower yourself. And so moving forward in life, when you look at things and objects and stuff like that, just kind of ask yourself, is this a toy or is this a tool? And if you're gonna buy toys, that's totally fine. But I think it's important for us to just realize, hey, this is a toy. That's fine. Or if you think of this thing as a tool, is this tool gonna actually help empower me to create whatever I really want to do? If not, then it's probably a toy. Which, once again, whether it's toy or tool, it doesn't really matter. It's just, let us just become more conscious of the decisions we're making in order to empower ourselves. Because I'm all about giving us, the individuals, more power and less power to the marketers or the consumerist society culture that we have going on right now. And the ultimate goal is for you to create more of your own art. So let's just think to stay creatively focused, to create more, to dream more, think more, and to dream more. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Peace out.